Hello again, and welcome back. As usual, this is Becca going by Nightcat or Nightcat's Meow when online, and this is another week dealing with Linden scripting language. As promised last week, today we are going to follow up with from the note card reader and how to integrate that with a greeter. I actually have I want to acknowledge a request also from somebody about setting up a notice subscription thing and a gift giving system or a special item or landmark giving system. I will incorporate those in with this in next week's video. So that will bring us right back to where we are now. You remember these fine little things? Apologies for the brief cut there, but as we were going over things, you remember these? You have the Welcome to My World, Rebecca Wendell. I hope you enjoyed the stay. Going the other way. Thanks for visiting, Rebecca Wendell. Please come again. By the way, just in case anybody's wondering, Rebecca may actually be my first name, but Wendell is just the one assigned by Second Life when I got here. So, if there's anybody out there who thinks I'm, ripping off their actual name, it's not intentional. Anyway, so all of that was handled through this server device here, scripted up as so. And last week we went over the creation of the note card reader. So what I'm going to start with is simply copying the code from there. We'll put it out right here. It's a good place to start merging code. And of course, it's going to give us a failure because you can't have two default states. So we'll temporarily make that a different state. Actually using states as part of the code is a thing we will be dealing with much later. So right now it should function basically the same way it did before, because all of the note card reading code is down here, treated as a separate state, and these up here, which support that code, aren't called anywhere, so they're not interfering with anything. So we walk across. Same results we had before. Hope you enjoy the stay. And please come again soon. Now, what you want to be able to do for this, of course, is going to be able to set up different types of things, and you want to be able to change them out or change them around a little easier. There are a few ways you could want to do this. What I do with mine is I have different ones per location, and they're different cards for if you're coming or going. So let us say, let's close that back up again. Let's say, for example, we'll make this one just welcome to my demo. And this one going. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. what we would do down here is reset these. Instead of saying the exact same thing on two different channels, what we're going to do is change it to use the same channel but send a different message. We're going to set it up so it actually looks for note cards called coming or going, as we have here. So we're going to need the entire data server code we had from here. We just pull that up there. And how in here we read different notes based on whether it was collision or a touch. We're going to say we don't need if channel equals anymore. We need if message equals coming. Actually, yeah, I will show you this way, and then I'll show you how to simplify it. Double checking one thing, capitalized going. And you still need to maintain a who to, but that's no longer something that necessarily gets kept right there. Actually, for what it's worth, I just realized a little problem with this that I had fixed in my other system and don't remember the exact thing is. The thing has to do with making sure, let me adjust the sun here. It has to do with what we're doing to this right now. It's not going to be filtered to a specific individual. I'll show you how to do that when I show you how to simplify this. Outside trigger, welcome to my demo. The note card reading actually takes a minute longer there, so give that a moment. Huh, inside trigger didn't trigger. Let's see if that was the issue. If it's just getting stuck. Usually I'm better prepared than this. Sorry about that. There it goes. It was getting stuck on something. Okay, it stopped sending those. That's because I was too close to the timer. Yeah, it was just too close to the timer. Yep, that was all that was, too close to the timer. Sorry for another cut there, but I had to quickly remind myself how I did a particular thing. Now, what I did on mine in order to handle everything is just a slight variation of what you just saw. Little bit of jiggery-pokery there. I learned that word from Doctor Who. Christopher Eccleston season. It was the second episode with him and Rose. Moving along. What I did in my other one is instead of sending a message for this, I actually used the names of the objects that are sending it as part of the delivery system. If you look at a listen, you get integer channel, string what, key who, and string message. The way these actually work are, we already know about the channel, we already know about the message, and we were dealing with HUDs, we talked a little bit about who. We've also sometimes used what as a filter. This time we're not going to use it as a filter. We're actually going to take it out of the listen command. Now it will listen for literally, if it's on channel 100, it doesn't matter who it is, it doesn't matter what key it's from, and it doesn't matter what the message is. This is the least secure you can make a listen. But here's why it's going to work for us. Now, depending on which side you hit is going to determine what it's going to need to say. Either way, it's going to come out from the same object. So what we're going to do is we're going to manipulate the name. So we're going to put the string for the key who back in here, but we're going to add one more line. Set object name going. String. Set object name coming. That's where I got my extra. If your screen's color is good enough, you'll see this is all still green. That told me I had not closed a quotation mark somewhere. That somewhere was right there. It's one of the convenient things that things will actually change color to represent what type of material you're working with. And then after all is said and done, and that will turn its name back to whatever you had it before. So it's easy to know what it is you're dealing with here, but this way you can identify which thing you're dealing with. You'd want to have, let's go back to the idea of a department store. You'd want to put, say, dresses here if you're walking into the dress section, and pants if you're walking into that section, or scripts, or whatever it is that you're working with, or because that will tell you which of the note cards to pull up. So we're going to save that. Now, just because we've made this more complicated, we're going to add a little bit of debug here. gonna say from object what? Want the space there to make it more readable. With message. There we go. And we're going to change this. We still have the key who to message. That's particularly important. So note no longer equals message. Note now equals what? And we can take it down here to instant message. Instead of it being identified here, where we only needed it in one place, we're going to turn that into a global variable. Previously, it could be identified in here because it was only used in here, and so when this listen was finished, it would go away. Good memory saving trick. Doesn't work so well here. There we go. Get the right key there. So we establish a global variable, who2, as null key. Down here we say what who2 needs to be. Cast that as a key. Then we can use it down here, instant message, who2, data. And then down here, it resets, clears everything. A bit more complicated, but now we're using the name of this as part of our control system. You could also, in theory, do this by sending it through with what's called a substring index. I don't remember if I've covered those before, but I will cover them again later. But this is, I would say, a better way of handling it. So now because you're actually sending two different pieces of information at the exact same time. One of them is the what, one of them is the who. Sorry, this one would actually tell you the who. I know I named this variable who, but that's just out of habit because that's who it came from. In this case, the message is telling us who to send it to, right there. So all right, we get from object, coming, with message, a key, welcome to my demo. From object, going, with message, a key, thanks for stopping by, have a great day. And you see, it's turned itself back to welcome and farewell video demo. Now, the last thing I said that I was going to do is show you how to take that and have it still give you a specific individual's name in there, how to still customize it for a person. There's no way to pre-do the note cards for this, so we're going to make it two different lines. Welcome somebody, so what we're doing is we're breaking it where the name would go. Welcome, Rebecca Wendell, comma, thanks for visiting my demo. And then the other one, going. Adding, and please come again soon. Now, where we're going to do this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have to add a new variable to hold, string message, then instead of sending it to the instant message first, let's spell it out actually, message. What we actually want to do, is just occurring to me, is we actually want to make sure it only runs this part if the line is 0. So, if line equals 0, so message equals message plus data. That means that the message, which begins blank, there's nothing in it, right there. Message equals message plus data. So it takes wherever the message is, which begins as nothing, adds the result of data to it. That's the first line of the card. If the line is 0, plus, that adds a space, plus, key to name, who to, that gets added, and then because there'll be another line equals line plus 1, it tells it to read, which runs through this to capture the data again. It gets added on there. So actually what we want is to also include one more space. It will run through, it'll add that on there, then it'll try to read it again, and it'll get an end of file if data is not end of file. So after the second line, when it tries to run it through a third time, it'll go to the else statement, instant message, who to, message. And for somebody who mentioned in the comments about me, quote unquote, forgetting my semicolons as a lesson, no, actually I've been working a lot in Visual Basic recently for a project for my new employer. So I have actually been working with a language where I don't put things in with semicolons. So I kind of got out of the habit a little bit. But a lot of languages, you do need them, including this one. So let's see if I got that all right. There you go. Welcome, Rebecca Wendell. Thanks for visiting my demo. It's still personalized. It's entirely handled by note cards, which makes it easy to juggle a large number of them. And thanks for stopping by. Have a great day, Rebecca Wendell, and please come again soon. So that's how you can go ahead and run these by note cards. You can still keep it personalized and have an easier time managing a large number of individual greeters. Hope that works out well for you. Next week, we'll discuss how to add gifts to it, from landmarks to note cards and whatever else you might want to give a prospective client, and how to construct a message list that can automatically ping out to people whenever they come online. So you can, for example, if you're running a shop, you can announce sales that way. If you're running a club, you can announce special events to them that are current. and not have it litter up their inbox with a whole bunch of stuff. It will a whole bunch of those messages that pop up here, like all of these. You can have it just send them a direct message when they're online and there's something going on. So, I'll see you next week. As usual, please like, comment, subscribe. Those things really help me know that this is something that's working for y'all. And that kind of encouragement is really, really important. It really does wonders for me to know that there's those of you out there that are really benefiting from this. As usual, I try to have these up by noon Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. So for now, that's it. Good day, good luck, and happy scripting.